Man, Rooster, it's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere. 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Where were we?
I don't know, but we're refilled.
But this is that show, eh?
Yeah, we're back. The future of humanity is here.
See?
This is what you have to look forward to.
You're not taking my oil. No.
Not doing it. Not doing it. I'm going to fight for the rebellion.
I'm going to fight for the rebellion. That's such a cool fucking helmet, though.
Isn't it?
I love that thing.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Woo! That is not a small dome piece trying to come out of there.
Right? Yup.
No,
we were talking about best case scenario for humanity's future. Turning out exactly like Star Trek. That's the dream.
But that whole theory, we talked about that. The whole theory about how Star Trek wasn't, the whole Federation wasn't the good guys. They were actually the oppressors. We've talked about this.
On the show?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we have.
So there's a theory that the Federation is actually the oppressors?
Yeah.
I don't see how that would be possible.
I know, but it...
Because their entire thing is like fighting for free rights and rights of life forms and, non-interference. It's literally the prime directive.
But if you think about what, even in today's world, people are always like, it's human nature, right? You said we're tribal people. We want to be in groups and things like that. And when somebody says they're going to take care of you, right? And it all sounds good and it sounds like a fairy tale and yeah, take care of me. But in the reality is that's the exact group that is trying to control you.
Basically. Okay.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my God! Wait a minute. So yeah, that's the only thing that really bothers me about that whole thought process.
Yeah.
But
I don't think personally that we're even going to make it that far. I mean, as a species, we're going to live long enough for that to happen, but we're not going to advance through that whole process of uniting and working together. I think we're just going to continue to quarrel until we all fucking blow each other up.
Well, that or in the current circumstances that the world is going through is like we're dealing with viral components that we can't control.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So if that escalates any farther than where it is now, I mean, this is why I say, in my opinion, what we've experienced is truly the world's largest social experiment. Right? There is a 99.7% chance that you will survive
right?
the virus.
The virus.
Okay? Not going to name it. It shall not be named.
I mean, now it's got so many names,
well, they're just going through the Greek alphabet at this point. So, but the point is like if there was ever a and this is why I always said this, is that I feel like to have a better understanding of how a general populace will work, you have to create a scenario. Now, you can only run that in small batches for so long or in small test groups. If you do it on a global scale and you try to figure out how and what areas are going to provide the most resistance to actually,
gives you some very nice data to work with.
Doesn't it? Doesn't
right?
it?
For real. Nothing like an experiment by testing it with the real scenario and seeing how people react.
So that's my concern, is that if there was a real viral outbreak, and I mean a real viral, like
something like the Spanish flu, where it's going to actually kill a large percentage of the people who are infected.
60% of the world population?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
But like you said, now they can use this data from a virus that doesn't have such a large mortality rate. They can use that data to figure out who's going to cooperate, how things will play out in a larger scenario. Scary. I don't know. Do you think that the next pandemic like this is going to be like a biogenic weapon that somebody engineers, or it's just going to be another bat fucking a bird fucking a pangolin like this? How this virus came
I'm
to
still
me.
trying to absorb the mental image there that you just described. That's
A bat's fucking a bird. Wow, it's fucking a penguin.
I mean, that's a zoo on an orgy on a whole nother level.
Just takes me back to the new South Park.
I don't know. I hope not. I
Seriously.
hope not.
But I feel like people are gonna start utilizing biogenic weapons. But
Oh, they're already. They've been in play for decades.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. They're just different things about this whole scenario that, you're seeing this whole social experiment. You're seeing the whole world economy being jammed up, blocked different ways. This and that. Nobody really knows, Adam from Eve, and it's just there's just a total breakdown of
societal norms.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, completely. And the thing that bothers me about it is that there's a lot of repeating history that's happening right now that's happened in past history.
Mm-hmm.
Not the changed, adulterated history that's being taught nowadays, but the actual history if you actually go back and you research things.
What are you thinking about, like the Roman Empire and stuff, or?
Well, that's just the closest
the
example.
most recent, yeah.
But you look at just different societies and societal structures, and you can't. There's always a build up, and there's always a rebellion. Not to reference the helmet.
The helmet.
But there's definitely a collapse, a rebuild, a restructure. The craziest thing that I've ever seen in recent days was I saw this whole clip by Michael Douglas, the actor, and he came out and he talked about how the two-party system in our country is ruining our country,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that the reason that they won't allow a third party is because a third party would literally come in and sweep the shit out of both.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Right? I mean, that's just, let's be honest. I mean, something new, something that's got more promise and perspective and prospect.
Or actually blends a lot of the common qualities that both parties have. Because a lot of people that I speak to on both sides feel the same about a lot of issues, but they're forced to choose a side.
Right. And that's a problem. That's a definite issue. I mean, we've talked about it before. Do I want to see our country go into that issue of having a parliament and having multiple factions? No, I don't, because that's just ridiculous. It takes 2 years to make anything happen.
To do anything, exactly, yeah.
But at the same time, the examples of what we've seen as far as like influence in our culture, not just our culture, but other cultures, is pretty apparent through consumerism.
Mm-hmm.
Burp, beer.
Beer.
But, and that bothers me. But kind of going back to where we were and talking about these centralized currencies, I mean, like, where...
I feel like that has a lot of potential to free up a lot of these political squabbles and stuff, because it's totally detached from individual countries, from economies and that stuff. It's like a unique...
Right. Well, could you imagine you apply the same concept to your vote?
How so? What do you mean?
There's no adulteration at that point. You're a unique ID, you're a unique wallet, you're a unique signature. And so there's no way to forge that.
Okay, so you're talking about forgery. Okay, how somebody could, create false votes and throw them in. Whereas if they were tied to the blockchain, like, you have a specific permanent concrete ID that's tied in. Okay.
Oh, that would clear some things up,
Yeah, it
wouldn't
would make things a little bit more more clear.
Hey, MIT guys. Can you get on with that?
Figure it
We got
out.
about 2 years.
Yeah, right.
All right, midterms are in several months, but you got about 2 years.
Till shit turns to shit again. Till the Democratic Party is storming the fucking Capitol.
But no, it's not a riot. It's not an insurrection. It's just a peaceful protest. No, it encapsulates so many things, and to think 2022 could be such a promising year. You know, there could be a lot of good change that happens. There could be a lot of good things that happen. But what we've seen over the years, and squabbling and bickering and the fighting back and forth and the resistance to just not sit down and have a real conversation, it's not looking good.
Right.
I mean, we're not off to the best freaking start. I mean, there is shit that is going on in the Capitol right now where everybody's finger pointing, saying, no, you messed up, and no, you messed up, and no, you messed up. No, you just need to fix it.
Right.
Okay? Fix it.
But they're more worried about winning than fixing it.
That's the problem.
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like that problem boils down to every single individual, including us. It's easy to say other people need to do this and do better, but when you like reflect on yourself and be like, I need to have an open mind and be able to explore issues from all angles. You know, it's easy to say that, but it's difficult to do. I think that,
you know, and that's a good conversation to have, because you and I can have a conversation, we can disagree on something, and then we just move on from it.
Yeah.
Because you share your point of view, I share my point of view. And there's a lot of things that you and I and our other friends, when we talk about things, we can come to a common ground on, and there's a resolution.
mm-hmm.
But as a larger group, see, that's the thing, is that I think over the last 2 or 3 years that people have been empowered so much that their opinion is what matters most, as opposed to the greater good of the whole.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Or that their opinion could possibly be not necessarily incorrect, but doesn't encompass the whole picture. You know, that's what a lot of people like to believe in, what is easiest for them and benefits them, you know?
Right. I could see that. But, you know, I think that's that consumer mentality, right? That if it doesn't benefit me, then I don't want
to hell with it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas, okay, well, it benefits me, but not to the degree I want, and so let's work on that.
Or even it doesn't benefit me, but why is it for the greater good? You know, being able to look at something and be like, okay, even if I don't agree with it, is it possible that this is actually the best income? You know, it's outcome. That's most people, like, including us. You know, it's easy to say other people do that, but it's easier to be comfortable and just, you know, rely on what you believe and stick to it rather than exploring new ideas that compromise your beliefs. You know.
Yeah, I think 2022 is going to be a crazy year. I think there's going to be a lot of changes and a lot of shifts are going to happen across the board. Like there has to be this sliding scale that goes back and forth to make it all work. And without everybody being able to participate and actually voice their opinion the correct way and make it work, it's going to be another rough year for us.
Yeah.
You know, especially we're in a midterm year where we've got a lot of political seats that are going to either stay the same or flip, and that determines a lot of what happens within our own government, and that trickles down to our own local economies and government. And that could be beneficial or that could be detrimental. And, you know, it could be, we're just going to have to see. You know, we can keep our fingers crossed, pull the pin, and throw the grenade. Do not pull the pin and throw the pin.
What do I got here?
Oh, no!
I was just watching this video of this new congresswoman who got instilled, and she was talking about how shocked she was with how the Congress votes for things, where she's literally, they have these little pin pads and you vote yay or nay or present, and she talks about how they didn't even use them on her first day when she came in there. They were talking about the bill, they said the bill or whatever, and then they literally go, all right, who's for the bill? And people go, yay. And they go, who's against the bill? And they go, nay. And the guy based it off of the volume of how loud each side responded, and then he goes, okay, bill passes. And she was like, what the fuck? She was like, I didn't even vote. I was ready to vote. But he just made the decision based on whatever side was the loudest. I was like, I don't know if that sounds like how you pick your team in football, not necessarily how you
ordering a drink at the bar.
Or what song you want an artist to play next, not necessarily what laws should be decided to go into effect. You know, the future is just there's two parts of me. One who's insanely optimistic and like wants to see the possibilities of our country, but also our species. And then there's the other side who just knows that we're all fucked.
We're doomed.
We're doomed.
We're doomed. As Biden would say, eat your ice cream. Enjoy it while you got it.
Right?
Double chocolate chip mint, whatever the hell it was. Double scoop.
Right. Whatever happens, love your family, love the people closest to you. You'll get through anything.
Like, share, and subscribe. We've missed you. We're back.
We're back.
Leave those comments. Hopefully we can grow this community a little bit more. Share it with your friends if you think they get a good laugh out of it. Otherwise, unless the next round's on you,
we gotta go.
Cheers,
folks. That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to, that show.